I never blended in. I was a weirdo.
Check your settings as well.
Janie Massey, Janie Massey, Janie Massey, Janie you. How you doing?
Doing well. How are you?
Oh, I'm swell.
Good.
My full name is Noah Seth Campbell White, and Seth is my uncle's middle name. My father's name is White, and my mother's last name is Campbell, and when they got married, they decided, since they are becoming one in marriage, they wanted their last names to reflect that.
This documentary is going into the life of Noah Campbell White.
And everything that goes into this amazing and unique human being that he is.
The team and I, we wanted to highlight him and just follow him around in all of his interests and all of his passions.
Ooh, is this tea ready?
Noah has a lot of stories.
Noah can talk forever.
Hobbies, crosswords. Sit down with a crossword puzzle. It has to be in the newspaper, otherwise it's depressing.
When you ask him one thing, he'll give you 5 different answers and responses.
Sudoku, same thing. If it's not in the newspaper, it makes me sad.
And if he gets started on a subject, he will tell you about that subject.
Coffee making, reading is probably my biggest one.
Sometimes he's like that supermarket mom where you're waiting in line and she just talks to the person she's never met before and tells her whole life story.
Writing, it's not really a hobby. Fashion, men's fashion, I find fascinating.
He could go on forever about what he likes. And
boot collecting, I've only really done 2 sports, 2 or 3, kind of flirted with martial arts.
Never loses your interest.
And then fencing.
Oh, me and Lucas, we have heard at least once, if not twice. And we were like, oh yeah, it's going through that story. Oh yeah, he told it this way again. Oh yeah.
And that's actually, that's when I met the Pope. Bumped into the Pope, kind of.
Every part of his story that he tells is interesting.
And I always write letters in blue ink because it lessens the severity of black ink.
Sometimes I wonder if he knows he's about to spit comedy gold.
Which, you've had it, but I made baklava if either of you would...
We don't know what he's going to say.
Because simply, if you've ever met him, just having a 5-minute conversation with him, you'll walk away thinking about it for hours.
Yeah, I'm 22. Isaac? Is he here? Isaac! How old are you? Okay, thank you. Yeah, I'm 22. I don't keep track.
okay.
Yeah.
The minute I laid eyes on the man, I knew he was mine. Oh, yeah. I just loved his character, and I was like, I wonder if I could room with that guy. It would be so fun to room with that guy. And I just started hanging out with him and spending more time, and then I popped the question, would you be my roommate? And he said yes. Oh my goodness.
This is the living room. This is our most recent addition, this couch. We found it in the dumpster right when COVID hit, I think, and everyone had to move out. We saw it in the dumpster and we said, oh, this looks diseased. We'll take it and clean it up. This actually used to be Prof C's TV right here. And he said, I'm getting rid of it, and Lucas dropped everything and ran to his house.
Well, so me and Noah, we didn't know each other at all before he came and walked in the room to our dorm room my freshman year. In fact, I was with another guy, and we ended up just saying, okay, we'll do a 3rd-person roommate. And we didn't know who it was going to be. They just stuck someone random with us. One day, we're just in there in our dorm room, and the door flings open, and then in comes Noah with his trench coat billowing behind him, and we both go to shake his hand, and he walks right past us and slams his stuff on the desk and starts unpacking. And we're like, does he know we're here? And finally, he unpacks all the stuff and he turns to us. And he's like, I'm Noah Campbell White. And I'm like, okay, good to meet you. And that night, I see him like unraveling his knives and like sticking them in places. I'm like, this man's going to kill me.
Yes, this is Slave 1. This is a lovely, and I actually, in the bedroom, I have the Obi-Wan's Delta 7, so if I want, I can do the asteroid chase. This is our family portrait. Lucas doesn't like his picture up, so, oh my goodness. Okay, I'll fix that later. So we had to draw that, which says, original portrait by Norvat the Sailor for Gorboth the TV Gnome. And Gorboth the TV Gnome lives in here. We actually haven't heard from him in a while because we sacrificed someone to him. Like, the TV will go out and stuff, and it's just because he's angry. Over here is our shrine to Batman. This is, it's very, very special to me. It says share a Coke with Batman, and this over here is Isaac's plants. These are his plants, and it's his greenhouse. This, actually, Isaac just got this for me because there are 3 ways to subscribe to Squiggly Wigglies. One of the ways is buying me Legos, and so we were at Walmart the other day, and he bought me this beautiful McLaren car for like $10. So Squiggly Wigglies is a subscription package that contains Squiggly Wigglies, Lively Squares, and the Legend of the Ninja Egg.
Squiggly Wigglies are like these misshapen, big-nosed, tall-headed people who say these interesting things, whether they may be talking to a slug or they're just in conversation with themselves.
Lively Squares actually came first. They're just like little box people. They developed out of my school notes.
And then Ninja Eggs are these little eggs that are ninjas.
Tell me about his Squiggly Wigglies.
I have nothing to say. I do not know much about it. I know he draws them, and people pay him stuff for it.
There are 3 ways to subscribe. Either coffee. Basically, I say if you've bought me coffee ever, then that counts as a subscription. Secondly, Legos. If you buy me Legos.
One of my friends is really ingenious right now. She bought a tub of Legos that is just random Legos, and she literally pays him in Legos. For every Squiggly Wiggly, she gives him 1.
The final way to subscribe is your firstborn children.
I think it's an affidavit relinquishing your parental rights unto him.
And 2 people have subscribed that way.
Where were you born?
I was actually born in Ohio, the wonderful land of enchantment and dreams, Ohio.
He has lived in many places.
Actually, my first memory may very well be in Ohio, but it's the diaper rash is my first memory. It's haunted me all my days.
And then he was like, then we moved here.
And then we moved to West Virginia for a little while.
And then we moved here.
And after West Virginia, we moved to Colorado.
And then here.
We were there for about a year, and then a little before my 4th birthday, we moved to Brookings, Oregon.
Then we moved here.
We were in Oregon until I was 10.
You're like, okay, where is he gonna live next?
And then we moved to Idaho. But we lived in Idaho for a week. Then we moved to Thailand.
He's lived in a lot of places, and I think that's what makes him kind of the way he is because he's moved around a lot.
They've asked us to tell our deepest feelings. Just kidding. I'm trying to think of a story. Like, we've done some really stupid things, I feel like.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of one.
Well, we did the board game thing.
I love board games, and it's really hard to get Noah to play board games. Noah loves romantic comedies, and it's really hard to get me to watch romantic comedies. So we compromised. We played this board game I bought called Fog of Love. It is a rom-com board game. I promise this isn't a commercial. Allows you to role play as a couple. So we sat down and me and Noah fell in love. It was when we were stuck in quarantine together.
This is recycling, and it used to be a box, but that box was attracting gnats, and I actually haven't seen any today, which is good. And don't tell Lucas, but also spiders. But don't tell him because he'll move out. But anyway, so we have these gnats. Oh, I just saw one. This is the Soda Stream. I have not used it. I should, but I love tonic water. That's a thing. This is Matt. He was our previous 4th. Okay. There was a gnat. Yeah, this. Oh, I just glazed right over this magnificent painting. Isaac bought this And it's interesting because we all have a different interpretation. It reminds me very much of Paris, and particularly the film An American in Paris. If you ask Lucas about it, they're about to get murdered. I started eating this food, and it was not good. It was too old. This is our microwave, how I hate it. And then baking is probably the big one that I did not. Baking, cooking, actually my favorite food in Thailand, mu ping. And mu ping, mu means pork, and ping means grilled. And it's literally grilled pork, mu ping. And they're these little strips of pork, maybe about that big, and they just have a skewer in them. And they were just sitting there grilling them, and then they throw like a light teriyaki on them. And they just melt in your mouth. Oh, it's so good. And I should make it sometime. I bet I... Hello and welcome. My name is Noah Campbell White, and this is my lovely assistant, Lucas J. White. Say hi. Hey. Now, today we're going to be making cow pad gai, and cow pad gai is one of my favorite dishes. It's actually what I consider to be the ultimate comfort food. Cow pad gai is fried rice. Gai is chicken in Thai. Let's get started. First, we're going to start with the garlic. Now, traditionally in Thai cooking, you would actually crush the garlic, which makes it very easy. Once you crush it, all the paper just comes right off. This is perfect right here. Feel that consistency? Thank you. Isn't that wonderful? Thai fried rice has a few special ingredients. Don't look at them yet. They're a secret, and we will. I'll explain them to you. If Lucas White would come over and be my Vanna White, it means you show us. Hold it. Yeah. Okay. This is actually one of my favorite oils. Yeah, it's a really great everyday oil, olive oil that works. I use olive oil in a lot of things. Give it one of these. One of these. Next. You can set that down. We have soy sauce. This is not a really nice soy sauce. I find that all soy sauce just tastes like soy sauce. This is one, oh, I'm sorry, I took your job. No, you go ahead. No, please. Yes, this is oyster sauce. And this is one of the reasons that Thai fried rice is unique, because it uses oyster sauce. This next sauce, which is the real thing that makes, oh, runaway line, that really makes Thai fried rice. Fish sauce is in just about everything. Oh wow, smells like home. Those are the sauces. These are the weapons of our trade. Perfect. What is this?
I thought you would notice that.
Oh my goodness, I almost didn't. Oh, our hats touched. Now, I'm going to have my lovely assistant, Lucas, I'm going to switch places with you, and you're going to peel that onion. I love celery, and I think it adds a really neat taste to it. Actually, I don't love celery. I actually hate celery, but in dishes, I really like celery. How cooking people do all this, like on shows, they always look straight on in the camera and they chop something. And I always cry when I cut onions. Now, we're gonna ask Lucas to come over here and punch this chicken until it's flat. Yeah.
Like that?
It needs to be kind of fill this bag, yeah. Perfect. Isn't that fun? Perfect. We're gonna fry this, so we don't want it to be too thick. So, are we ready to get to the stove? Now we're at the stove. I'm so excited. I don't really use tablespoon measures, but with cooking, I just eyeball it. Perfect. Now we're just gonna let that heat up on medium-high heat. And what we're going to do next is fry this chicken. You want to do the honors and lay it when the time comes?
Okay.
The time has not yet come.
Okay. When the time comes.
When the time comes. Okay? The time has come.
Okay.
Okay. You ready? Reach it in and lay it flat. Lay it flat. Perfect. And you can get a lot of weird diseases from chicken, raw chicken, and also just don't eat brains. You can get a lot of really, really weird diseases from eating brains. I suppose I'll need a fork. Where would I grab it? Wonderful. That was our producer. All right, it's almost ready. You want to start the rice, actually?
Yeah, I'll get started on that.
Perfect. He's going to make rice. He's a great rice maker, a great ramen maker. He's a renowned ramen maker. What we're going to do, I actually need another fork. Perfect, thank you. And what we're going to do is, once this is done, with these 2 forks, our resident chicken meister is going to shred it, and we'll show him how to shred the chicken. Oh, look at that. That's perfect. That's really good. That's good stuff right there. This is perfect right here. We're going to turn this off. We're going to transfer this over to this right here. Try a little tenderness. Do your best. That's all I ask of you. Meanwhile, oh yeah, we got some good stuff in here. You ready for this, Janie? That was a lot less explosive than I thought it. And I'm honest, this is perfect. Now, we don't want this to cook completely without having added spices or anything to it. So I'm just gonna give it a swirl of soy sauce. Right, now look at this chicken. This is perfect. Look at this. Oh, this is great shredded chicken. Look at that. Oh, you see? That's wonderful stuff. This is great shredding from our sous chef here, Lucas J. White. You want to tell him what the J stands for?
Joe Mama.
Yes. Oh, this is starting to come together. Did you get a good look at that? And I haven't even put the fish sauce or the oyster sauce in yet. Or the chicken. You know, not. And then that chicken will be added. The chicken is pretty much already cooked. Oh wait, didn't it have to boil first?
Yeah.
Did it boil?
No.
Okay. And so we want all of this to cook really nice and evenly. And then once that rice is done in, I don't know, 5 minutes or so, we'll add the sauces. It'll be fantastic. You know what I'm talking about. I like your hat. Here, come here. Come here. Yes. Yes. It's so funny when it's standing straight up. This is almost done, and then later we'll turn up the heat. We'll let things rumble around. We'll add some eggs, we'll add some sauces, we'll add the chicken, and then we'll eat. Now I'm gonna have you crack the eggs, but we're gonna try it one-handed. Okay? Can you do that?
Is that part of the recipe? It needs to be cracked one-handed?
No, it's just a skill. You take it like that, with your thumb kind of right here. Not yet. The time is not yet come. Okay?
I'm going to do this like up against the sink.
What? Why the sink? No, it's right here.
I'm going to do up against that.
Why would you do it in the sink?
I don't know.
Then the egg would go in the sink.
I don't know.
Well, it's a little crunchy. It's a little fat, a little while. It's really hot, too. Okay. There we go. Here, would you take that? Ooh, that's hot. Now we're just gonna mix all this up. There we go. That's looking like a meal. Does anyone smell that? Do you smell it? Here we go. Here we go. Here. You smelling it yet? You smelling that? He will be performing the one-hand crack. I'll hold this for you.
Little thing.
Yep. You want to do 2 hands? You need it. Okay.
Here it comes. Gonna poke his head through like a velociraptor.
Okay. Okay. You can have the next bite. That's really good. Where are your finest bowls? Okay, now comes the plating. How much do you want?
Just like as much as you can. I like chicken.
Good. How much do you like lime?
Not too much.
All right, I'll cut it in half for you. Oh my goodness.
It's good.
Yeah, it is, isn't it? Thank you. Well, thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, no, thank you. Who wants some? This is my ultimate comfort food.
Yeah, this is good.
Yeah, thank you.
I'm comforted.
This has been Cooking with the Double Whites, the whites squared. Nuts. This has been Cooking with Noah Campbell White and Lucas White. Cooking cow pad guy. Thank you and good night. I am a senior in music performance. That's my major. I have a minor in theater and then creative writing as well. I said to myself, what is it that I will never stop doing? I will never stop singing. I will never stop acting, and I will never stop writing. This is the piano. Oh, that's awful. That's a New York state of mind.
Oh, yeah.
I come from a dynasty of musicians. Family on both sides are musicians. My dad plays, as far as I know, everything except the bagpipes. They told me, they said, no matter what else you do, no matter what else you learn, what instruments you would like to pursue, you will learn piano. And I was like, I don't want to do that. I'm going to do my own thing. And I did for a little while. I mean, I've flirted with instruments all over the place. My parents were very deliberate in culturing a love of music and the talents that God has given me. And then around when I was 16, I think, I started taking voice lessons. And I can't remember why. It was just a sort of, my dad was like, you know, you ought to do this. I went, yeah, probably should. Sign me up. And so they did.
As a musician,
Yeah.
he's great. Yeah.
He delivers. He really thinks of it as the job that he's going into because he really truly believes in it.
Noah has a massive presence with him, and he has that without being an actor. I think that's what makes him such a strong actor, is because he has that presence.
And so I had this this foundation upon which to put all this new knowledge. And it really prepared me for college in a way that I found out other students were not prepared in the same way. So my sister sends postcards to me. Do you want a recipe for butternut squash soup? Blah, blah, blah. And she sent me a Woman's Health magazine, came in the mail, and it was in it, yeah. And she sent me that Woman's Health magazine, and I learned all about teenage love and why sending nudes wasn't worth it, and also about periods. So, and now my favorite place in the apartment, our pantry, or as I call it, my library, because this is where I keep the lion's share of my books. This is a wonderful place. Nothing ever goes wrong in here. Oh, and I have stuff on the wall too. Wonder Woman poster, a Harrison Ford Call of the Wild, a Batman thing. And then this recently was given to me. It's a gun. So sometimes I just come in here and I sit here. I just look at my books. This I haven't done as much because I've just been a little too busy and it's pretty time consuming, is fountain pen collection and restoration. And I have a very large, let me just move all this weaponry out of the way. My collection of vintage mechanical pencils.
So I sat down with Noah and I asked him about his fountain pen collection.
First, of course, I have to show you the pen that got me into fountain pen collection.
For 35 of those minutes, he specifically talked about fountain pens.
And that was this Waterman, this Esterbrook right here. And this is my favorite one. This one, I really love this one just because this is a Lammy, and Lammy.
He probably pulled out 30 to 40 fountain pens and spent a good few minutes on each of them.
My favorite fountain pen I've restored would have to be, this is what I write all of my letters with. This one, I need to buy some pieces for it. This is a Wherever, which used to be a tremendously popular.
In every moment I thought maybe he was done, he just kept going.
I used to try to make dip pens without a lathe, which is rather difficult, and so any pen that has this white dot, that's called the white dot of excellence. I have very strong views about fountain pens. Scrawled little bits of a made-up Elvish language that I made up when I was like 10. This is my death box. I call it my death box. I just thought I'd mention that. Anyhow, oh, and I also have inks all over the place.
Surprisingly enough, after 45 minutes of hearing about fountain pens, I was still interested about hearing about fountain pens.
So actually, the biggest one is sword collecting. That's a family tradition. And then as I got older and became more interested in martial arts instead of just flirting with them, I started looking at kendo and iado, which is Japanese. Kendo is like the sparring with the bamboo. And then iado is, it's non-contact because they use real swords. Off the record, buying a sword on Friday. Off the record. Totally buying a sword on Friday. All right, now, this hand-forged Chinese jian. This design of sword is from the Han Dynasty. And these are called, they're known as the Gentlemen of Swords. It's a hand-forged, folded steel. And this sword is meant primarily for stabbing. Yeah. Oh, such a beautiful piece.
So if you were to like attack somebody, how would that look?
Oh, I'll show you.
Okay.
Everything in martial arts and in sword fighting is about how to effectively transfer energy and how to get all of the energy into the other person. Here is a chop here, and you lift up your leg here, and when you chop, you come down like that. Go up like this, which when you bring that down, then it has all the weight in your body, right? And so then you take this and you shift and stab them there. And then we shift the weight over here, and as this arm then moves that way. It feels so much better. Try that out. Swing with one hand, not doing anything. Feels kind of weird, right?
Yeah. I had no idea what I was doing.
Just two fingers like this and follow the motion that your sword makes.
Yeah, I was definitely just confused on what exactly he was teaching me.
But bring your leg up as far as you can and then swing down with it, just like that. Perfect. Yeah, that's right. You feel all of that energy coming down?
I think he loved teaching me what to do.
One of the most useful things in self-defense is going for the eyes. If you have a high-quality laser, it's a wonderful tool for self-defense because you can just sweep it across the eyes and it'll burn their retinas. And they might be blinded for life, but they might not be.
Yeah.
Also, it has these sharp edges right there, if you feel that.
Oh yeah.
That you can take that and smash their skulls with. Wonderful areas right here, just all in there, just, shine them, blind them, and smash their skull. We then move to my favorite knife and what I believe is the greatest tool that I own, which is my Marine K-bar. And this is actually the one that I sleep with under my pillow. Give that a nice thwack. Isn't that great?
It is.
Yeah, it feels good, doesn't it? And the thing about a knife fight, they're scary, as all get out. I've been in one knife fight, scariest moment of my life. So the best way to defend against a knife, you always want, it's great to have something that you can grab a knife and move it away. If you're coming at me and you attack me, I can just move you away from my safety. One of the great things is this tip here. If you just take the back and swipe it across their forehead, blood drips down into their eyes and that burns and then they can't see. And so then the other one that I keep there is, holy freaking crap. Oh, Noah. Oh, you fool. When you were driving here, did you see something black fly off of my car?
I did.
You did, didn't you? I'm pretty sure that's my machete.
No.
Oh my goodness. I hope it's not. I saw something black fly off. I thought a stick hit my car.
Yeah, I thought it was just like a piece of a car or something.
My car's chucking machetes at people. Oh my goodness. I'm so glad it didn't like crash through your windshield and impale you or something. Next, we have one that I can't show you wholly because I don't have any arrows at this moment. So this bow was given to me by my grandfather. Let's just bend it back and get that on there nice and tight. I should have brought a stick. I'll show you what kind of stick I need with this next weapon. This is a homemade fishing spear, and that's actually the sort of size I need for the arrow. And I might actually be able to shoot this. I'm not sure about that copper. And let's just see, I want to see. Let's see if this works. So this may be quite comical or kind of scary. We'll see. Comical. But this is cricket. This is that's my name for it. The guy who designed this designed it so it technically could be thrown as well, and I've never tried that. I think it's important to have a hatchet in the car. Of course, I don't keep it in the car, I keep it under the desk because Lucas is afraid of zombies.
So would this be the one you would throw over your head?
Yeah, you just throw it like a tomahawk, I believe. I did it once, like literally, I've thrown an axe once. Once, I was so terrified. I was chopping wood. Chopping wood is probably my favorite thing to do in the world. Okay. I mean, this is perfect wood chopping weather, and I love it. That's my favorite thing to do. But my dog loves it too. Okay. She was my dog. We got rid of her. I didn't kill her, don't worry. I'd chop wood, and every time after I'd chop it and she'd run up and I'd be like, Rory, leave me. Then I swing this one and she runs up and I have this moment where I'm like, I'm going to decapitate my dog. And it did hit her. It hit her right here and it cut her pretty deep there. Thankfully, I had been chopping for like 3 hours at that point. And so the axe was dull. Oh my goodness, I was horrified. I thought I was going to kill the dog. I didn't chop wood for another day. That's how broken up I was. Next is this, and I actually have 2 more of these in the car. I'm always happy. But this one, I love you gotta just hold it here. Just grasp it. There, doesn't that feel good? Doesn't that make you happy? Yeah. But do you want to get some action with that?
Sure.
All right, let's chop something up. This is the kind of stuff that we'd clear away if we were pruning the tree to make sure everything grows properly. So I just cut it all down just like so. But try to get this right here. You just take it and swing it like a hammer. But doesn't that feel good though? Try it at an angle, 45 degrees and down. There it is. There, see? Isn't that awesome?
It was.
It is, it's so fun. I wouldn't so much want to go into a fight with this. But I mean, if I had to, I would, especially with this one, because you know, if I don't kill him, I'll give him tetanus. So, which is also an incredibly painful death. I'm going to show you something that is representative of a weapon. This is a stick. So I used to get in a lot of fights as a kid, right? Yeah. And there's this one time, it was my best friend's birthday party. And he had this one friend, he was mouthing off at me or something like that. I don't even remember, but it was actually a broom handle, just like this. I took this and I smacked him in the temple and he crumpled to the ground. Can't remember why we were arguing. But he was fine. He was fine. Okay. All right, so first we're gonna start with the staff. You start with just some nice, this is a warm-up. It's really not useful for combat, but it just gets you familiar with the staff and its placement and where it ends up. And you're gonna take this and basically punch outward with both, and at the same time expel just right above. That's great. That's great. You just, you pull back each one like this, and you just imagine a target right about here, and I'm smacking him in the temple. And you do the same thing, and do it really hard. You feel that in the arms? It doesn't feel good, does it? No. It doesn't, yeah. The other night, I was just sitting right here, and I had headphones in, and I was watching a video on something, I don't know, and I just see out of the corner of my eye something black drop, and I hear it hit the floor. And so I get up and I'm searching for it, because if it's a spider and I can hear the spider hit the ground, that spider needs to die. So I get my flashlight. I have this big flashlight here, and I'm shining up, and there were cobwebs everywhere, and you can still sort of see the remnants. We cleaned up a bit. But then I just leaned, I got down here, and I shone the light down there, and there were wolf spiders everywhere. Like they had blood on their fangs, and they're just like crouching there. And I was like, oh. And we tried to kill one of them. It didn't work. I used to raise spiders in my house, and not raise them, I told the spiders, I said, if you don't come past the window, I'll let you live. And you can stay there and eat all of the mosquitoes that try to come in. But if you come past, I will kill you. And I think I killed the matriarch, and I never had problems again.
We weren't making secret tunnels.
Oh, this is where the magic happens. Actually, there's a person. Oh my goodness, and it's Graham.
Hello.
Hey, Graham.
Where are you?
This is Lucas and his bed. He makes terrifying sounds when he sleeps. Every once in a while, he'll go.
He believes his purpose is writing, because that's one of his majors.
I think of myself as a writer. I write short stories quite often because they're short.
He's starting to writing a novel right now, and he's just like really excited about it.
But writing is my great passion, and that's actually my biggest dream in life, is to be a published author.
Because he's like, I feel like I'm accomplishing my purpose, he told me.
I've planned about 107 novels, I think, which if I want to write them all, I better get started. This week at Undercover Boss. Let's go.
Dun, 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 dun. He's my fashion designer. Sonoma, like I said, Sonoma. It's a good color.
Looks like a weird flavor of ice cream.
Eh?
I only buy French cup shirts. No. Oh, no. That looks like the inside of a shoe. Would you wear it? No. Like, try this on.
I'd like every now and again, he's like, what should I wear? He's like, wear this. And he's like, okay. What is this? What kind of coat is this?
It's a Macintosh. Yeah.
It's a 44.
No. I think it's a 42. Isaac. Oh, I think it fits perfectly.
We go to Goodwill sometimes too much.
I donated this to Goodwill. This was my donation. I donated. Brigadoon. Peter Falk.
Sometimes we buy too many things. Definitely.
Oh my goodness. This is such a floppy hat. I honestly don't care if it looks good. It's from Oregon and it's tweed. I think I'll buy it.
I mean, he always talks about, I have too many clothes.
How's that?
Looks good.
Panama hat?
He has all one closet to himself.
That is a whole, that's a circle.
Yeah.
People's heads aren't circles.
Hello. He's just a fun person to be around, especially when you know him. When you get to know him, he becomes even, pardon my grammar, funner. So. No.
We ought to get this.
Where's the tag?
Slice it down the back.
Oh, and sit in it?
Sit in it. We can do so much to Lucas with that. We can put it in his bed. So there's this thing coming up called the Great Turkey Book Exchange, which is my brother and my sister and I. We all gather books throughout the year, and then we bring them to Thanksgiving and exchange them. This is the greatest rom-com ever made. It has such heart, and it's at Christmas, first of all. I might get it for Lucas. It's like the only one he likes. Oh, a bonus disc. The Wiggles. Awesome.
Actually.
I'm obsessed with clocks. They're really narrow, too. That thing still has peppercorns in it. That's, I'd say, normal size for a pepper grinder. I just don't like this one. Okay, couple ways. Number one, I'm walking, it's raining, this is what I go with.
No.
Do I look ridiculous?
Yes.
I never blended in as a kid. I was a weird, I mean, presumably you've seen a lot of the videos of me as an adolescent. I never blended in. I was a weirdo. And so I never really tried either.
I think Noah Campbell White is absolutely a unique and pure human being.
He is not afraid to be himself.
He has matured in a way that he understands his strengths and his weaknesses and maybe even his purpose.
Noah does bring a little bit of joy into that uniqueness and spontaneity where you feel like you can do a lot more with Noah.
I've been thinking a lot about being true versus being original. And in our pursuit for individuality, we like to forget our similarities. And when you decide to go and be true instead of original, you might stick out.
I mean, here in college, we're surrounded by so many different types of people, but somehow we all can be the same all at the same time.
My beliefs, specifically relating to Christ and to my relationship with God, should impact every aspect of my life, and so I should have excellence in music, acting, writing, the ways that I can best communicate. If I do what I do well, I am an ambassador for Christ here on this earth.
Noah brings his uniqueness into situations, and you feel like you don't have to hold back.
That's one of the things that really makes me, because every now and again it's like, oh, I wish I was Noah.
When I'm drawing Squiggly Wigglies, I'm not thinking that. But maybe someone finds joy and they needed that and they find Christ in that. I have no idea. I love to inspire people to say, you can do whatever you want. You set your mind to it. Take an interest and run with it. Hi!
To alma mater.
Yes, to alma mater. You know, you have to plan for all the eventualities, and if there's blood on your knife, you want to make sure you... I know very clearly what it's like to have a rash, a diaper rash down there. Because I love it. But I love my dog just a little bit more.